Cimoooooooo! Welcome to Tech Tuesday, a weekly series where we discuss some awesome tech cards as well as help make you a better player. This week's card is Chaos Trap Hole, an amazing counter trap that's gonna put a big hole in your opponent's plan. Chaos Trap Hole is a counter trap card that reads, when a light or dark monster would be summoned, you negate the summon of that monster and then you banish it. So it's almost like running an additional copy of Solemn Warning in your deck, or even 2 or 3 since this card is not limited whatsoever. But what's really cool is that it banishes the monster rather than destroying it like Solemn Warning. So it's almost a little bit better in that respect. Now, why is this a good tech card? Well, let's look at some of the best decks of the format to see how we can use Chaos Trap Hole to our advantage. Now, let's start with one of the most notorious cards in the game right now, and that's Denko Sekka. Now, a lot of people know that when they see Denko Sekka, that if you don't have the warning, you're basically going to lose the game. So what's really awesome is that Chaos Trap Hole is almost like acting like additional copies of Warning, like I said before, increasing the chances that you can negate and banish that Denko on summon. And you're also going to be protecting your back row, not going to get completely blown out. And since Necros are the deck that's predominantly using Denko Sekka at the moment, it has dual application because you can use Chaos Trap Hole to stop monsters like Manju and Senju because they're also light, and not only are you going to be banishing them from the field, but you're going to be preventing them from getting their effects since they technically were never summoned. Now let's move on to Satellar Knights. Now, seeing as the entire deck is composed of light monsters, Chaos Trap Hole can hit every one of those monsters. And what's really good about it is that if you Chaos Trap Hole a Deneb, that's going to be huge because they're not going to be able to Altair it back and continuously cycle through their deck. And now that the Star Seraphs are legal here in the TCG, Chaos Trap Hole just got even better because now you're going to have the ability to banish the Scepter, meaning your opponent's not going to be able to recur it with something like Call of the Haunted to be able to keep searching, but you're also going to be able to be negating the summon, which means they can't chain Sovereignty since the first effect of the Scepter never has the chance to go off, so they can't form the chain. But Chaos Trap Hole's utility doesn't stop there. You can also use it against Burning Abyss and banish their Dantes when they get summoned. They might get the effects of the materials that are underneath the Dante, but that's irrelevant if the Dante gets banished because that's one of the biggest things you can do to cripple that deck. And not to mention that the Burning Abyss deck is comprised of all dark monsters, so having the ability to negate the summon of any one of those monsters and banish the monster at the same time is pretty big. Let me know down in the comments what you all think about Chaos Trap Hole. I mean, Chaos Trap Hole, just in the fact that it can stop Denko Sekka, is absolutely incredible. And you can draw a lot of comparisons between this and last week's card, Pulling the Rug. But I think overall, Chaos Trap Hole is probably a better pick. And I expect to start seeing it a lot during this format. Thank you all so much for watching the video. We'll see you next week.